Hey, what's up guys? Jay here. Today we are hitting legs. Before you get after this workout, make sure you are getting a warm-up in. I have a few different warm-ups on my page, some follow-along ones. If you want to check those out, I'll leave those in the description of this video. But if not, some sort of general warm-up to get the legs prepped and primed to get ready to lift heavy while maintaining an excellent technique to see the most muscle growth with this workout. So we have 3 mass building exercises. We don't need to do a ton of different exercises to see really good results and to build muscle. What we need to be doing is focusing on perfect technique and focusing on lifting the right amount of weight to get the best results possible. So I want you lifting as heavy as you possibly can while maintaining excellent technique. Ideally, you are bringing yourself 1 to 2 reps before failure to see the best results possible and to train as safely as possible. Once you have finished the 3 mass building exercises, we have a 10-minute EMOM burnout. You do not have to do this. You can absolutely get a really good workout in, really pushing the weight on those 3 exercises. Your legs will be sore as hell if you're really maximizing every single set and every single rep. However, if you want to take it to the next level, torch some more calories and really just burn those legs out and get a really good leg pump, then get after the 10-minute EMOM burnout. If you guys want more workouts like this one, you want to follow the exact training splits that I'm following every single week, you want to get after my 10 plus proven training programs, then download the JTM Fit Training app for free, link in the description. So let's get ready to push some weight, excellent technique throughout. Make sure you're focusing on slow, controlled tempos throughout as well. And let's get ready to put in some work.
Exercise number 1, we have the Bulgarian split squat with a 2-second pause. We're doing 4 sets of 10 reps per leg. I want you guys lifting as heavy as you possibly can while maintaining excellent technique. So as always, I want you guys focusing on slow, controlled descents or negatives, and really owning that 2-second pause in the bottom. Keep tension in the quad, in the glute, keep that chest nice and tall, and then drive up out of the bottom on every single rep. As you start to fatigue, do not shorten up that pause. Keep that pause the same, be mentally strong, and get these done. Next, let's take a closer look at foot positioning. So the leg that we're working, that front leg, needs to be far enough away from the bench that we're able to get full range of motion on every single rep. If we're too far, the inability to stretch the hip flexor on that back leg, the elevated leg, is going to be the limiting factor. So in your warm-up sets, just using your body weight and light weight, find the proper distance. Also, thing to note here, the more we lean forward in the Bulgarian split squat, the more we're going to target our glutes. The more of an upright torso we keep, keeping our chest nice and tall, going straight up and down, is going to target the quads more. In terms of building muscle, I always aim to bring myself 1 to maybe 2 reps before complete failure to maximize muscle growth and to do it as safely as possible. So make sure you guys are pushing the pace, but obviously making sure you're maintaining excellent technique so you're training as safely as possible to get the most out of this exercise and really any exercise that you're doing. Exercise number 2, we have the barbell heel elevated squat with a pause. We're doing 4 sets of 10 reps, resting 2 minutes in between sets. Now I'm using a barbell with this movement just to give my grip a little bit of a break coming off of those Bulgarian split squats. If you do not have access to a barbell, you can very easily still just hold dumbbells or kettlebells to your sides and still get a ton out of this exercise. Elevating the heels puts more focus on the quads, so it's more of a quad focused movement. This allows our knees to really track over our toes, to really stretch those quads out in the bottom of the exercise. So try and get full range of motion on every single rep and keep your chest as tall as possible on every single rep. Now I actually do need to modify this movement sometimes. I find that unilateral single leg movements like lunges and split squats don't aggravate my torn hip labrum, but I find that bilateral movements like squats tend to really bother my hip at times when I'm using full range of motion. So I certainly always try to get a set or 2 at full range of motion, but I do need to modify sometimes, and all I do is just shorten up the range of motion, add in that pause, and I still get a ton out of the movement and still get a really good pump. Also, for reference, this is a 2-inch squat wedge. Got this off of Amazon. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, just does the job. If you do not have access to a squat wedge, use plates, use the handles of dumbbells or kettlebells. Exercise number 3, we have the kettlebell lateral step-ups. We're doing 4 sets, 8 reps per leg, resting 90 to 120 seconds in between sets. So we're showing that frontal plane a little love with the lateral step-up. I'm using a 16-inch plyo box just because my ceilings are too low for me to go any higher if I did crack my head on the ceiling. So ideally, we have full range of motion. So ideally, we're getting a full stretch in the quad and the glute on the leg that's up on the bench. So we're going below 90 degrees for that full range of motion, but obviously do what you can and modify as needed. In order to get the most out of this exercise, you need to utilize the leg that's on the floor in between reps as little as possible. So there's a little bit of a jump off with that leg, but then all the focus should go right onto the leg that's up on the box. Focus on really driving that knee outward, keeping your chest tall, and really extending your hips. So standing tall with the quad and glute of the leg that's up on the bench. Lower as slowly back down to the ground as possible. And again, don't just go right back up into your next rep. Don't use that stretch reflex, which then takes some of the focus off of the leg that's up on the box. Lower down slowly, pause for a second, slight jump off, then back up into your next rep. All right, guys, getting into our optional 10-minute EMOM burnout. So the way this EMOM is going to work, you are going to run a clock for 10 minutes. At the start of the first minute, we have 2 exercises that we're going to perform. We start off 10 heel elevated bodyweight squats. Full range of motion, full stretch in the quads, flex the quads at the top, lower right back down into your next rep to keep constant tension on the quads. As soon as you finish 10 reps, you're going to go into 5 burpees immediately after. So you want to get these 2 exercises done as quickly as you can while keeping really good technique. These burpees, I want chest to the floor. We're not flopping around on the ground. I also want a nice big jump at the top. None of these little baby millimeter CrossFit jumps. Nice strong jump, touching the hands at the top. As soon as you finish 10 heel elevated squats, then 5 burpees, you're then going to rest the remainder of the minute. So let's say it takes you 45 seconds. You'll have 15 seconds to rest before minute 2 starts and we start our next exercise. Once minute 2 starts, you're going to hold a wall sit for 50 seconds. So if a bodyweight wall sit is not challenging enough for you, if you really want to crush your soul, throw a plate on your lap or even hold weights in each hand to make it even more challenging and to really crush your soul. So with the wall sit, 90 degrees or slightly below, I want you active in the wall sit. So actively squeezing and flexing, contracting your quads in that wall sit, really pushing your lower back into the wall, keeping good posture throughout. So 50 seconds. Once you finish 50 seconds, you'll have 10 seconds to rest before minute 3 starts, where you go back to the heel elevated squats and burpees. Minute 4, you come back to the wall sit. You're going to continue to alternate for 10 total minutes. Let's dig deep and get it done.